Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree Buonomo and I have not done a writing experiment in quite some time, and truthfully life has been chaotic, so I decided that I needed to do an experiment in order to get back into heavy writing again. So the last time we chatted about writing on this channel, I was saying that it's going relatively steady, but slow. I wouldn't write every day, but when I would write, I was getting back into the flow, and the beginning of January was feeling really, really good. And then the 20th of January hit, and that entire week was very interesting. I'm not going to go into details, but we had a very, very stressful week of all sorts for very many different reasons between jobs and country and personal, and yeah. So I pretty much didn't write a single thing that week. I don't know if I wrote it all. I don't think I did. So I was like, okay, we got to get back into it. So today we're here and it is January 26th and we have pretty much a week left of the month, with the exception of Saturday being the 1st of February. And what I decided to do is I'm going to push myself to try to write every single day this week. And I have pretty much two simple parameters. One, I have to write every single day, starting today on the 26th. And just for reference, I have been thinking about this idea for several hours already, and it is 7 o'clock at night on the 26th. So my goal is going to be to write from 7:30 to 8:30. So other than writing every single day starting today, I also want to write for at least an hour every single day, and it has to be an hour in vampire. And I'm saying that in this vlog right now because two things are possible. One, I may do some of my secret project this week, and if I do that, I don't want to ignore vampire because I want to get this book done so I can do my cleanup in draft 3 and get it out to readers. And the longer I keep putting this off, the longer it's going to take me to query. I'm just kind of sick of not getting things done in my life with writing. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do that. And the second thing is too, I still have a busy week this week. I have a lot of things going on, which means that I really have to focus on getting this writing done. So the reason I'm going to say every day and for 1 hour a day is because then I can kind of break that up with how I see fit. If I want to write for 15 minutes 4 times in that day, or I want to do a half hour here, a half hour there, or probably tonight is going to happen, I'm going to write for an hour straight. I can kind of choose from there and we'll see how it goes. But I would love to see how productive I am by essentially blocking out and specifying time throughout the day to get writing done, and see if that's something I can sustain to get this draft done. So this is going to be the kickstart of how can I finish my second draft of my vampire novel. And I want to take you guys along on the ride. So I think I've rambled enough. I'm going to get set up for writing, and then I'm going to do the first hour for the week because I'm running out of time tonight already. All right, let's go get this party started. Hi friends, so it is Monday, January 27th. I did not check in after I wrote last night, and that was because my husband asked if I wanted to watch a movie. We watched Blink twice, very good, would recommend, but strong trigger warning for sexual violence. But we watched that, so I didn't really get to check out because once we were done, we went right to bed. But I figured I got book mail from HarperCollins, it looks like, so I'm going to open this and see what it is and talk to you real quick about my musings from last night. So I did write for an hour, and it was a little bit slow going. Honestly, I think I struggled because I am adding new material, and it's one of those things where I'm unsure if these are good words or just words that are going to be in there, because I wanted to start to tie things together where we as a reader might be able to understand how he's trying to manipulate my main character. But I'm still unsure if my pacing is quite there. I know that she's being suspicious, but I don't know if I have the order right. So I'm just adding this little segment where he's trying to connect his history to what's going on currently as a way of softening what's going on. And I just don't know if the words are good right now, and that's fine. I'm trying not to overthink on it, but I think that's where I got stuck. So once I hit my hour, I was kind of like, all right. But the next nice thing is that now the new words are pretty much done for tonight. So it's 6:22. I want to start writing at 6:30. When I start writing at 6:30, I'm hoping that these will be just nice editing and maybe I can finish this chapter. I'm on chapter 20. So it would be nice if I can get 20 done tonight in my hour, and then tomorrow we can start fresh on 21. And yeah, I'm just unsure. I'm also starting to confuse myself too, because I have like the chapters that I moved back. So these are chapters that I put back in the novel once I took them out to rearrange things. So now I'm like in my notes and stuff like that, and like where I hand edited. I also, just aside, I keep thinking that like I'm saying that this is draft 2, but I forgot that I wrote the entire first draft last year and then hand edited it, like went through the entire novel, read it, and made notes throughout everything last year. And I keep forgetting that point because now I'm doing draft 2 where I'm taking all the notes I wrote. And I'm like, wow, I guess I did a lot more work than I gave myself credit for last year. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, is that there's just more words that are being like added and thrown in and changed and rearranged. So I'm very confident at this point that this is not the draft that people are reading. I need one more draft because I'm a little bit just like wonky of how everything's supposed to look right now. But on that note, I'm excited to get writing tonight. And let's see what book this is. I have no idea. Jennifer Wenner, The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits. Interesting. I don't get much from HarperCollins. I get more from Simon. The Griffin Sisters were the soundtrack of the early 2000s until suddenly they weren't. Two sisters bonded by music, divided by fame, silenced by tragedy. Now, 20 years later, a new generation will try to reunite them. Can the love between sisters survive the secrets that remain? You know what? Honestly, I'm here for it. I kind of like musical books. I love Daisy Jones and the Six, and this kind of seems like a similar vibe. And apparently this comes out in April. So I have no idea how I got this, but that's fun. Cool. Okay, that's fun. So let's get into business, and we're gonna write for our hour tonight, and I'll check in later. Okay, hi. It is 7:30 and I wrote for an hour and I have a pounding headache, but I did the hour. And actually, like, it's weird because the first, like, and I think it was partly my headache, like my headache was really getting bad, and so I had to pause for like 5 minutes to take medicine. But like, I think initially, like, I really wasn't feeling the writing, and then I pushed myself, and then I started to get into it, and then my hour was up. But like, I think I have to quit, unfortunately, today because my head hurts so bad and it's just not going away. But I feel pretty good. Like, I feel better today with the writing than I did yesterday. And I think that's partly because I like this scene. I like this chapter now, where she's snooping and she's trying to uncover things. And I like that just a little bit more. So I think I will be able to finish chapter 20 tomorrow with my hour then, and we'll see if I get any more time. I know tomorrow morning I will definitely write for at least my hour. Like, that's my goal, is to write an hour tomorrow morning, but that's what I'm gonna go do now. So I'm gonna head out, but I feel better and I am glad I did this. Like, so far I feel good when I get the hour done. I'm really happy that I wrote for an hour both yesterday and today, and I am happy that I'm pushing myself because I think being able to do this might actually get me back into finishing this book. So fingers crossed. Stay tuned with that. Hello friends, hi. It is 9:30. The reason I decided to stop where I did is because I finished the one chapter I was on and I was getting hungry. So I was like, okay, if I stop here, I'll have enough time to eat. So that's what I did. And honestly, I feel really good about the chapter. Things are happening and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get into the end. And oh gosh, yeah, I know this is actually going to be longer than I think I anticipated, because when I was going through it, I think I have like about 65,000 words right now, and I was like, oh, maybe this isn't going to be as long as I thought it would be. But there's a couple, like there's much more I'm adding to the end of it, so I think it's going to be longer than I was starting to think, which is nice. Like I'm just kind of, I'm not focusing on like a number goal. You know, it would be nice if I could get around the 90,000 mark, because I think that's a good solid, like, if everything works out, if I like query this and it gets picked up and it's my debut, like that's a good start for a debut, I think. But like if it's a little bit less because it's horror, I'm not going to be mad about it, because I know there are a lot of short horror books that tends to sell well in the horror community. So I'm just going to focus on getting the words out and getting through the story. But I feel really good about this chapter. I like that the stakes are amping up with each segment, and I feel like where I started like last night and feeling like I don't know if this section is gonna stay, the stuff I added today, I feel like this is solid. This is gonna be in this book. So hello friends, hi. It's Thursday the 30th. Oh my goodness, my brain's fried. I will come back after doing this writing session and kind of explain the last 2 days, because I've been pretty brief in my check-ins, but it's been a few days and I wanted to do my hour today because I've been doing pretty well with it. But yeah, I just got out of work, so I'm trying to real quick like bang this out before the night gets hectic. And I wanted to just say that I picked up a new drink. It's called Bloom. Well, I picked this up because it was 10 calories, 0 sugars, and it looked really pretty. I thought this was more of like a tea. So I'm gonna pop this open. I'm gonna write for an hour, and then I will check back in to talk about where I'm at so far in this challenge. Okay guys, hi. So we got our hour in. So let's do a quick check-in for the week, because what a week it's been. So last time I really talked was on Tuesday, where I did my hour in the morning and I felt really good, because even though Monday I didn't finish the chapter like I wanted to, I felt really good for where I ended, and I nicely ended the chapter within my hour on Tuesday. But then Tuesday night happened, and I'm not going to get into a lot of details, but we were in the ER, and that just, you know, that just sours your mood pretty quickly. So Tuesday night, like, I didn't really get to do much else because we had to drive down to the ER. But what I will say is, just at this point, like, we're home, and that's all I'm going to say on that matter. But yeah, I ended up having to call off of work on Wednesday, and that's why I really didn't talk too much, because we had no idea what was going to go on. We had to do a follow-up, blah, blah, blah. But because I called off, and because things were like stable in the afternoon, I was able to do my hour of writing again, which I honestly didn't think I was going to. So that was a nice surprise. And now we're here. And again, things aren't like great, but it's enough that I get this moment of time. And I'm not going to lie, like, it's one of those things where like you can have a crisis and like I think most people would be like, it's understandable that you didn't get your hour in, but I'm kind of happy that I had just a nice little outlet to like focus in on when things are like calm, so that way like I can still make progress and take my mind off things for a little while. And it was nice just to be able to do that. Like if I didn't, it wouldn't be bad, and I would have just maybe scrapped this idea or saved it for a different time. But I kept going, and that's why I didn't vlog, because as much as, you know, I was able to write, the vlogging just wasn't there the last 2 days. So that's where I'm at. And, you know, I'm just sharing that just to kind of be legit about like, this is my life. And I feel like, and I'm sure most people can relate, because I think everyone I talk to is this point, but it's like, I can't go a week without having something going on. So no wonder my like progress is slow, you know? But despite that, like I said, I've been writing the last 2 days, and I'm really excited. I am now on chapter 21, and I'm about halfway through. So I'm hoping tomorrow, for Friday, I'll be able to finish 21. And then maybe on Saturday, for my last challenge, I can maybe complete a whole chapter. Because Saturday, I was supposed to have a few things going on, and I don't think I'm going to be as busy as I intended. So there's a possibility that I could maybe work over the hour and get a full chapter done. And then that means I'll have 3 chapters completed in this challenge. That's kind of what I want to aim for. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I do have a couple life things that I have to go do, so I won't be able to write much more tonight, but I will check in tomorrow, aka Friday, and keep this going strong. At this point, I'm committed. We are writing an hour a day this week. It's happening. I have 2 days left and we're gonna make it work. So that's where we're at, friends. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hello, friends. Hi, and happy Friday. It is Friday. It's a little after 5, and I am going to try to write my hour right now. I am feeling pretty good. So I kind of like caught up on like the things yesterday, but I just wanted to kind of check in with the writing as well. So I think I said I was on chapter 21 and I was in the middle of it. So I would love to be able to finish chapter 21 tonight. And I don't think, so I'm torn. I don't think I'm going to actually have to change a lot in this chapter because right now shit's about to get real crazy now. She is kind of like in and out. Like she's like all of a sudden, like she had a few good days and now like she's feeling ill again. She's not okay. Like basically like that transformation is taking place possibly. But like she also doesn't want to stay there anymore. She's like, okay, I now know he's lying to me. I have proof. So let me go get a phone and call someone and get out of here. And it's not going to go well. So that's this chapter where he finds her and shit just takes a hard right into Badland. So I think I don't have to change a lot. I think I just have to make the continuity a little bit better. So where I left off yesterday, I was changing some things about like what she already knew because this chapter was previously earlier. So I have to like tweak a little bit that. That's what I was doing yesterday. So right now I'm going to try to push. So it's 5:06 from 5:10 to 6:10. I'm going to try to push through and get through this chapter. I think I can do it if I could just concentrate. But, you know, it's been a week, so my concentration level is a little bit wonky. But that's what we're going to try to do tonight because I think, like, I can bang out this hour. I'm currently home alone, so I don't have, like, responsibilities. And maybe then I can reward myself with some video games tonight because it's been a long week. And I would love to just, like, shoot things in Fortnite, to be honest. So that's what the plan is. But I'm so far feeling pretty good because it's been a good week writing-wise, all things considered. So that's where we're at. So it's 5:07 now. I got 3 minutes to like prep my station and get writing. And then I will check in when I'm done. But guys, I feel really good. I don't know if I want to always do an hour every day, but I feel like this is good. Like I can. I'm proving to myself that I can write an hour every day if I really put my mind to it. So this is good so far. All right, let's stop talking.
Let me take a second to look how cute she is. Just sitting underneath there as I write. Adorable.
So it's just briefly under the hour. I think I started around 6:10 and it is 6:05. But I finished my chapter. I thought this was a good stopping point because then it gives me a really good goal to try to get through a whole chapter tomorrow for my last day of this challenge. But yeah, it pretty much went exactly as I thought it might. I pretty much just had to clean it up and make the continuity a little bit better. There's just one thing that I'm gonna have to fact check in my next read through, and that is like how long she's actually been there or approximately. But I'm excited. It's really nice because I added, so I think I've said this multiple times, but this was a chapter that was earlier and then I had to move it. And in the earlier chapter, they have this like really like abusive situation. And then he kind of like flips the switch and is like, let me show you something. And that didn't really work out because again, I kind of jumped the gun too much and made him like too intense right in the beginning of the book. But with how this works out, like he's not going to show her something now, but instead he's locking her in the room. Like he is putting her like a Rapunzel character now. Like you can't leave. Like you leave me no choice. I have to do this. And it's great because the next chapter, which how my imagining of these chapters, because it has been a little bit of Tetris, let me tell you. But the next chapter flows right into that now. And I couldn't have planned it better myself. Like, I don't know how this happened in my brain because I really didn't know where I was going to put these chapters. I was just like, please let this work out. And so far it is. So this is gonna, like, the next big thing is, like, the next couple chapters should be about the same continuity-wise. But I'm gonna basically be adding probably 2 new chapters still, at least, because she is going to be like, this whole like imprisonment is gonna look different now, which makes a lot more sense for his character and like the the horror of it. Like, we're progressively getting more horrifying as the novel goes on, so it makes sense. But that's going to be all new again. So I think I'm going to have a small break moving forward where I'm going to have a couple chapters that are just changing for continuity's sake and any like edits and grammar things. But then towards the end of the book, we're going to have to really like get in there and be adding some stuff. But so far this week, I have got 2 complete chapters with things that like really needed to change and be added in there. So I think we can push for 1 more chapter tomorrow on Saturday. And I'm really excited. So despite all the shit that's going on in my life, this has been a very rewarding week for writing, and I'm really excited. So yes, that's where we're at. So that's me. Okay, yes. Go team! Woo! Hello guys! So guess what? It is 11:46 and we crushed it today. In general, we crushed it this week. Like, who am I? What's going on? I love it. So I started around the 30 mark with my writing today. I ended around the 10:30 mark. And even though that was about a 2-hour span, I know I didn't write consistently for 2 hours because I did stop and I made a bagel to eat and I took the dog outside and then I was chatting on text messages and stuff like that. So without a doubt, I still got definitely an hour of time in and I finished the next chapter like I had planned. I had to do a little bit more editing, but there's a couple lines in this chapter that I was like, oh, like that sounds nice. Like that's a little poetic. And while I know like this whole book isn't going to be done yet, I'm happy with how it's shaping up. And I think this little challenge was like really what I needed to kind of jumpstart my, like, let's get this done. Like we can absolutely get this done in February if we keep up with a pace like this. So as an experiment goes, I think it was pretty successful. I feel very accomplished with all the writing I've done. And I think an hour can be doable most days. There might be some days like Monday nights, I do have writing club once a month, but I also have book club and that might be a little bit hard to squeeze in writing on like a Monday I have book club because of getting out of work and dinner and stuff like that. But I think most days I could at least do a half hour. And if I do that throughout the month of February, like this should be done this month. And I can understand why like there's a lot of people that push like write every single day and it can be definitely valuable. I don't know if this would be sustainable all the time. Like, let's be real. Like I already said, like there's definitely things that come up and there's emergencies that happen and different life things and vacations. And that's not something I could do, I think, every month of the year. But I certainly think if I have a deadline and I can plan it out, I think this is something I can do. So I think that's what my February goal is going to be, is to try to do a half hour to an hour every single day until this book is done. So that's my video, and I'm not going to talk too much, but I just want to real quick share, because I got book mail again, but this is exciting book mail because it is my next poetry collection. So this is the poetry anthology that my next 2 publications are going to be in. And honestly, like what's even cooler is my poem was blurbed on the back and I didn't know that was gonna happen. So I have 2 poems in here. I have A Spell for Queer Existence and I also have What Makes the Rainbow. And these were brand new poems. I wrote them specifically for this collection and I pushed myself just to try and put my heart and soul into them. And I was very, very honored that they got accepted and now published. And she's thick. So yeah, by the time you guys see this video, this will be live. You can buy this collection. We do not need permission to write. The link will be down below. And if you want to check out more of my works, they will also be in the description. So thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey. This was a great week. I can't wait to do some more vlogs and keep checking in and hopefully have a really exciting end of the month wrap up to talk about in February. So all right, that's it for me, guys. Happy writing and see you next time. Bye.